2 Kings chapter 15 verse 1. Uzziah son of Amaziah began to rule over Judah in the 27th year of the reign of King Jeroboam II of Israel. Verse 2. He was 16 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 52 years. His mother was Jecoliah from Jerusalem. Verse 3. He did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, just as his father Amaziah had done. Verse 4. But he did not destroy the pagan shrines, and the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there. Verse 5. The Lord struck the king with leprosy, which lasted until the day he died. He lived in isolation in a separate house. The king's son Jotham was put in charge of the royal palace, and he governed the people of the land. Verse 6. The rest of the events in Uzziah's reign and everything he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Judah. Verse 7. When Uzziah died, he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, and his son Jotham became the next king. Verse 8. Azariah son of Jeroboam II began to rule over Israel in the 38th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah. He reigned in Samaria 6 months. Verse 9. Azariah did what was evil in the Lord's sight, as his ancestors had done. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit. Verse 10. Then Shallum, son of Jabesh, conspired against Azariah, assassinated him in public, and became the next king. Verse 11. The rest of the events in Azariah's reign are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Israel. Verse 12. So the Lord's message to Jehu came through: your descendants will be king of Israel down to the 4th generation. Verse 13. Shallum son of Jabesh began to rule over Israel in the 39th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah. Shallum reigned in Samaria only 1 month. Verse 14. Then Menahem son of Gadi went to Samaria from Thiza and assassinated him, and he became the next king. Verse 15. The rest of the events in Shallum's reign, including his conspiracy, are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Israel. Verse 16. At that time, Menahem destroyed the town of Tapua and all the surrounding countryside as far as Thiza, because its citizens refused to surrender the town. He killed the entire population and ripped open the pregnant women. Verse 17. Menahem son of Gadi began to rule over Israel in the 39th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah. He reigned in Samaria 10 years. Verse 18. But Menahem did what was evil in the Lord's sight. During his entire reign, he refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit. Verse 19. Then King Tiglath-Pileser from Syria invaded the land, but Menahem paid him 37 tons of silver to gain his support in tightening his grip on royal power. Verse 20. Menahem extorted the money from the rich of Israel, demanding that each of them pay 50 pieces of silver to the king of Syria. So the king of Syria turned from attacking Israel and did not stay in the land. Verse 21. The rest of the events in Menahem's reign and everything he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Israel. Verse 22. When Menahem died, his son Pekahiah became the next king. Verse 23. Pekahiah son of Menahem began to rule over Israel in the 50th year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah. He reigned in Samaria 2 years. Verse 24. But Pekahiah did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit. Verse 25. Then Pekah, son of Remaliah, the commander of Pekahiah's army, conspired against him with 50 men from Gilead. Pekah assassinated the king, along with Agbob and Ariel, in the citadel of the palace at Samaria, and Pekah reigned in his place. Verse 26. The rest of the events in Pekahiah's reign and everything he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Israel. Verse 27. Pekah son of Remaliah began to rule over Israel in the 52nd year of King Uzziah's reign in Judah. He reigned in Samaria 20 years. Verse 28. But Pekah did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit. Verse 29. During Pekah's reign, King Tiglath-Pileser of Assyria attacked Israel again, and he captured the town of Ajalon, Abel-Beth-Maachah, Janoah, Kadesh, and Hazor. He also conquered the region of Gilead, Galilee, and all of Naphtali, and he took the people to Syria as captives. Verse 30. Then Hoshea, son of Elah, conspired against Pekah and assassinated him. He began to rule over Israel in the 20th year of Jotham, son of Uzziah. Verse 31. The rest of the events in Pekah's reign and everything he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Israel. Verse 32. Jotham, son of Uzziah, began to rule over Judah in the 2nd year of King Pekah's reign in Israel. Verse 33. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 16 years. His mother was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok. Verse 34. Jotham did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight. He did everything his father Uzziah had done. Verse 35. But he did not destroy the pagan shrines, and the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there. He rebuilt the upper gate of the temple of the Lord. Verse 36. The rest of the events in Jotham's reign and everything he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Judah. Verse 37. In those days the Lord began to send King Rezin of Aram and King Pekah of Israel to attack Judah. Verse 38. When Jotham died, he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, and his son Ahaz became the next king. Amen.